Throughout history and in many different cultures, mountains are considered to be spiritual places. Doug Scott was the first British man to stand on top of the highest mountain in the world, Everest, and he spent many years since giving back to the people of Nepal who helped him to achieve his dreams. But it hasn't been easy. Sally Magnuson has been to Kathmandu to find out more.
After summiting more than 40 mountains in the Himalaya, including Everest, Doug Scott set up Community Action Nepal in 1991 to fund much-needed community buildings in the mountains above Kathmandu.
I got started re-roofing a school, and one thing led to another, and now put in about 60-odd projects, schools, health posts, porter rescue shelters, that sort of thing.
But in 2015, 2 huge earthquakes hit Nepal. One of the charity's head teachers was lucky to survive.
I escaped underneath my table. Many more children, they hide under the benches. And some friends came and they pulled me out. And when I stand up, and I have seen that there was no any building left.
Once he knew the children at the school were safe, Prt3 rushed home.
My house was totally gone, flattened, and there was no my family. I thought all they died. But finally I started to throw the stones and rubbles, and then finally one parents and one teachers, he came to me and he shouted, "Purna, your family are safe. They are escaped already. They escaped already."
It wasn't just Prt3's school that collapsed. All of the charity's projects were affected by the earthquake, and Community Action Nepal was faced with a crisis.
Within the 1 second, most of the infrastructure gone to the flatlands. With 17 health centers, 13 schools and 3 porter shelters. And some are completely collapsed. Some are badly damaged. It was the very big loss, big collapsed our property.
All the trails have been avalanched and were quite unsafe. And we're really struggling until we came across MAF, the Mission Aviation Fellowship, which is a Christian organisation going out of the way to drop supplies in the most obscure places.
Other Christian charities that are helping Doug with the rebuilding work are CAFOD and the Irish Catholic charity Croagh.
It's essential that all of us that are helping to rebuild Nepal do build back better and put in the features that are going to help the building survive future shocks.
All the children will have the good cozy rooms to sleep in. And the classrooms, maybe it takes the 1 year more.
What's been so heartening, it's the opposite really, being crushed by this earthquake. I've only been heartened by the response. It's something else to go over there and see these people with so little remaining incredibly helpful. So we're getting a lot spiritually from them. We might help them materially, but they always given me and friends of mine on expeditions a lot more back.
After 2 hours climbing and by now shrouded in cloud, we finally make it to the top. Here the faithful are rewarded with a unique location for Mass. But how did our barefoot pilgrim couple cope?
It was very spiritual. We were both doing it for grandparents of ours that we lost, and we're glad we did it now. And
it has been painful, but it was worthwhile doing. We're glad we stuck it out to the top. It was fairly heavy rain when we were up there, but we feel all the better for doing it.
We can both say that we have it done now, so
yeah, should do us for a few years.
In next week's programme, Catherine visits the monastery on Caldy Island near Tenby in South Wales to talk about faith, poetry and modern monastic life. Josie Darby meets the man behind Angelicus, the choir which reached the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent, whose faith has helped him overcome personal tragedy. And there'll be congregational singing from the sandy shores of Tenby Harbour. Well, up here in the wind and rain at 2,500 feet, surrounded by all these people, you cannot help but be impressed by their dedication to come up here and worship today. We're going to leave you now with the final hymn, but for now, from everyone on top of Croagh Patrick, it's goodbye until next time.
Remembering Princess Diana next here on BBC One. We're looking at the legacy she left on the Welsh as we look back at her life through the eyes of the country which embraced her as their princess.